Hi, this is Sanjay Parihar. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm a technologist. As part of Triluxo, definitely we are bringing very notable faces to our show. And here we are with Mr. Dinesh, one of the founder from Gaj Retreat. Welcome to our show, Mr. Dinesh.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you, Rohit. It's been a pleasure having you guys with us. It's an honor.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And along with Mr. Dinesh, Millie has also joined us. Hey, Millie, how are
Hi,
you?
Billy.
Hi, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here once
Absolutely.
again.
Absolutely. And Rohit has joined as well. So, hey, Rohit, how's going on?
Yeah, hi Sanjay. Hello,
Great
hello,
stuff.
Millie.
Great stuff. And so while we are kind of, going through a lot of interesting, time, I would say, but let me start with learning about more about you, Mr. Dinesh, and Gaj Retreat as such. Mr. Dinesh, you are a strong believer to give back to local community,
Exactly.
and by keeping in mind the ecological sensitivity of the area, and that is kind of reflecting to Gaj Retreat a lot. Tell us more about it.
Well, Sanjay, the history of Gajrutit is very long.
Hmm.
Basically, we are in a place, in a village known as Manaswal. It's called Gadi Manaswal. It's in district Garhshankar. Uh, Not sounding pompous and conceited, I can say we are the ex-rulers of that area.
Hmm.
Once upon a good time, we used to own around, but we used to roll over almost 1,000 villages. I don't know how many square kilometers that. But yes, we used to have a substantial area under our control. And this is a seat of power we have, as we call it. And the history of Manswal is very interesting. We can date back the history of our ancestry almost to 6th century.
Hmm.
Our forefathers, they started from Orissa. There was a Raja Biplab Rao who started from current, presently Odisha, and traversed through Rajasthan and Delhi, and ultimately, fought with Arabs and Turks on the way,
Hmm.
and ultimately reached a place known as Muxar, which is in
Buxar,
Firozpur
yes.
district of Muxar, which is in Firozpur district of Punjab. You know, Maybe I think it was a quite tenacious and a very adventurous forefathers we had. After settling down in Muxar, he was still not very happy, so he gave that fort of Muxar to his brothers, and he moved on,
Hmm.
and ultimately came to a place which is called Doaba. The Doaba is a place which, as we know, is between two rivers. Doaba means two, and Ab means water in Urdu or in
Right.
Pashto, I would say. So he came to this area, and he saw a fertile area, and he established his kingdom here in a place basically known as Gad Shankar, right? And now the ancestor who established that was Rao Shankar Dev Raja.
Hmm.
So after his name, it was called Gad Shankar. He built a fort there. The family started ruling from there, but a lot of skirmishes and attacks and things like these. Then they moved into interior of Shivaliks. Now Manswal has got a very typical topography. We are in the middle of Shivalik Hills on a plain. It's a plateau, you can say. Like from the safety point of view, it is covered from all the sides with small hillocks. There's
Right.
a ravine down there next to the village. There they made a fort which was called a Gadi.
Hmm.
So from that it became Gadi Manaswal. And I'm very proud to tell you that we have been mentioned in British history also. And we are the only family or the clan from this area who resisted the Britishers.
Britishers.
And they ultimately have to have a treaty with us. And we also had a treaty with Maharaja Ranjit Singh.
Hmm.
Britishers ultimately, because we had a treaty with them, they gave us a title of Rai Bahadur. So that's the history of Manswar. Well, the family has been sitting there since all these years. And we have got a very typical village it is. It is one of the most backward areas of Punjab. And the irony is that, there's water on both the sides. In the middle of it where we are, there is no water. So the people or area didn't have any water for irrigation. So as the time developed and we lost the states and things like these, so people have to go out and look for employment.
Oh.
So most of them joined army.
Hmm.
The girls and the women were left behind. And what was happening was that we realized that women, when they're left behind, girls were getting married young. So after a father's death in 1992, his name was Rana Gajendra Chand. That is how we have named this place after his name. Gaj has been taken from his name, and of course now known as Gaj Retreat. Now, giving it back to the society, though, starting a resort here has also got a very interesting history. You must be aware, as I told you before once, we started a resort in suburbs of Shimla known as Koti Resorts.
Right, right.
It was again a very tenacious project. We had a lot of hardships, but I think the genes of the adventure and the risk taking is running in our blood from our forefathers. After setting up Koti Resorts, we were thinking of exploring idea of setting up another resort. So we went to interiors of Kamau, surrounding areas of Corbett, and not getting something which says the maza nahi aaya. Because we look for something which is offbeat.
Right.
Right. So we felt that when we established Koti Resort there was nothing there. So we thought we have to go to a place where we can start something again fresh, So while we were deliberating the pros and cons, my youngest brother, we are three brothers, my youngest brother Nagendra Singh, and we were just sitting and contemplating just through the idea, why not in Manswal? It's our home ground. We know the area, we know the topography, we know everything. Why don't we start a resort there? My eldest brother, Chandra Char, he was really, he was not very happy with the decision because the area is really backward. There was no infrastructure. And then weighing the pros and cons, who will come here, unknown place, not any historical place around. Well, anyway, weighing all the pros and cons. Now, there's another interesting thing is that the people, early migratory labor to Canada and England, and some part of Europe and America also. When people started migrating from Punjab in early 60s, late 60s and early 70s, the bulk of the population went from our area. So we thought, these guys are coming back. We had many NRA friends used to come back and tell us, okay, you got a nice resort in Shimla, but do something in Punjab also here. There's nothing in Punjab. There's no good resort in Punjab. We want to come and enjoy. We want to have a nice time, weddings, things like these. So this gave an idea. So we thought, let's take a chance. We have taken a chance with Koti Resort, or let's take a chance. So the idea was, we planned it in a way that if nothing else, we'll get weddings. So we first built 15 rooms with a massive banquet hall or a conference hall, as you call it. Now, it's the size of almost 3,500 square feet with a ceiling as high as 36 feet. So the idea is we will get NRI weddings. The resort is not very old. It is just now 4th year in operation. And I must share with you, the moment we started it, we opened it in March 2016. And from that day, we didn't have to look back. And in 4 years' time, from 16 rooms, we've again gone back to 55 rooms.
Wow.
It's been a tremendous journey. And by establishing the resort, it's given us an immense satisfaction. We're giving it back to the society because all the labor is local. All the boys working are local. And another problem which we solved was the boys of my area were getting into drugs.
Wow.
And since we are the ex-rulers, we still command a lot of respect. We can bash them up and tell them, don't do this. But it was very difficult, to give them some alternative employment. So after setting the resort, what we have done is, now the certain boys who are interested in working, we have financed their cars. They are running that as cabs. We have given them a seed money. We have got them loans from the bank. The money which we have given, I drive them very hard to get my share back every month. They don't know. I'm putting that money into an FDs in their family's name. And the families are told, don't tell the boys. So the boys are earning, they're giving the money back to me, which I'm putting back to their family's FD accounts. So this has been a very interesting and a very fascinating journey. And along with this, we also have a school and a degree college exclusively for the girls of our area. And this venture has been going on since last 9 years. The school and the college is run by a trust. We are all members of that. It's a purely charitable trust. No what you call aid has been taken from any industrialist or the government or anybody. And I'm very proud to tell you the girls from my college have done so well that the college is now a known college in whole of Punjab. It is again named after my father. It's called Rana Gajendra Chand Memorial Girls Higher Secondary and Degree College. So this is how we're giving it back to the community. And setting up this resort has been I believe it gives a lot of satisfaction that we have stemmed the rot which was happening in my village, drug menace and unemployment. This has been the journey of Gaj Retreat so far.
Wow. I mean, this is, thanks for sharing it. This is kind of, a lot of insightful if we talk about how you come to this point about deciding it. It was rocking adventurous journey and a lot of yes, no moment. And then, let's do it. And then not only that, I mean, we already discussed about the Kodi Resort earlier. And what I feel that the royal gesture is continuing helping the community. And here, the motive is not to just build business, but basically build the community. That is something for a lot of people to learn, actually. I mean, especially the strategy, the thing which you are doing right now. So thanks for sharing this in much detail. Now, when we talk about Gaj Retreat, it is definitely very great for outdoor activity and adventurous activity, right? Tell us more about it.
Well, the resort is set up in almost 6 acres of land. Mm-hmm. The whole area we have is 35 acres, mm-hmm. which we have envisaged for the resort. Actually, now the operational area is almost 6 acres. Mm-hmm. We have 3 huge swimming pools, main swimming pools as we call it. And then we have 10 plunge pool villas. And I've got massive grounds like, one ground maybe you could say half an acre and a half. So there's a lot of adventure activities. We got all-terrain bikes here, right? We got swimming pools. Then we have got croquet game over there. People can play cricket over there. Then we have safaris. Now, very interesting feature again of the resort is that we are on a plateau and there's a river flowing by down there, which is normally dry, or at least 8 to 9 months, and it's a perennial river, which is, having water in during rainy season. Now, the river has a very typical structure. It has got sand, it's got gravel, it's got stone, it's got slush, it's got water. Mm-hmm. And it's an 18-kilometer long river, which is privately owned. Mm-hmm. So we take people in 4x4 vehicles, give them a ride on that, so they have that off-roading experiencing also, right? Then we take people to the village. They can learn pottery, they can learn carpentry, because a lot of children we get. Mm-hmm. And children have never seen, we have a garden, we have a outsourced dairy farming where we have bought again buffaloes and cows and given to the villagers. Mm-hmm. They're looking after it, giving their milk back to us. Mm-hmm. And again, we are funding and financing their cattle heads. So adventure-wise, fantastic. And I have almost 350 acres of private jungle.
Oh, wow.
Where we take people in the night for night safaris. It's nothing. They just get to see wild boar, blue bull, a lot of stag, a lot of deer. Once upon a time, we can sight a bison also. No mm-hmm. tigers, no panthers. And that's going to get a very interesting thing. And besides this, the people have been using our property for launching their product from there. Mm-hmm. And we're doing a professional competitive car rally from Gaj Retreat, which was before we were doing from Kodi Resort. Now we're doing it from Gaj Retreat for the last 4 years. And it's sponsored by Hero. So all these activities plus open grounds, people come and relax. Kite flying we're doing, for example. Mm-hmm. The most interesting feature is the children who are coming, we are teaching them carpentry and pottery, right? Which is again a very fascinating thing for the kids, even for the adults also. Mm-hmm. So all these activities are happening at Gaj Retreat.
Wow. And a lot of product launching and outdoor activity, right? That's kind of combined at Gaj Retreat. Wow. Yeah. It's interesting, Rohit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is quite interesting, and when I hear about that, it has got a life when you are doing something for the society, for the community. It gives energy for to work more. And when I see about the opportunity where the adventurous and outdoor activities are there, so definitely there's a lots of reason for the travelers to travel. And here, Mr. Dinesh, I have a like there's a concern for the tourists traveling right now, and they're really spectacle. Like when they're traveling to any hotel, if the complete hygiene has been taken care, precautions has been taken care or not, because there has it still has to be completely safe and secure. So, what exactly the resort is ready to welcome to the guest?
Thank you, Rohit. You asked this question. I must share with you that we got 54 rooms in total. And the rooms are made in such a way that all the rooms are approximately 50 to 60 feet away from each other. It's so spread out. Okay. So now the question of social distancing, it's been taken care of. The area is 6 acres, a lot of plantation around, that has been taken care of. And we have a standard operating procedure manual of almost 24 pages handed out to all the boys. Okay. I must share with you, the Punjab government allowed us to open the resorts on the 8th of June onwards. And I have a film unit from Bombay already shooting over there. There are 60 people in that. Okay. They were supposed to be with me for a week. Now I think they're going to stay there for at least a month. And so far, I'm very glad, and touch wood, I'm very glad to share with you. So far, there has been no untoward incident. Everybody is happy. All the precautions have been taken care of. They got their own fogging machine also. We have a fogging machine, right? The unit is taking all the precautions of wearing a face mask, gloves and all. And my boys are always with a face shield, gloves, under the face shield, a mask with the shoe covers. And all the precautions have been taken so far. So I invite anybody and everybody to just come and enjoy. We're taking full precautions as per the government guidelines also, and as per our common sense also.
Yes, it means like the hotel itself has got like placed in such a way, it is maintaining the social distancing, and when the clients are there, will not have to worry for that. And apart from that, the innovation things and precautions, the measures you're taking, applying the technology is definitely help to the client to have a pleasant stay there. Billy, next question I have for you. In fact,
Sure.
like I'm sure this is the lovely property, and you know Hoshiarpur. When the moment we say about the Hoshiarpur, it seems something a new destination for the tourists,
Yes.
and it's something is a very interesting for the client to know how it can be included in their itinerary, because Hoshiarpur is definitely a very interesting destination. Looks like.
It is.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, Billy, I would like to correct you. Rohit, it is not Hoshiarpur. We used to have, Hoshiarpur was our district headquarter.
Mhm.
Now it's changed to Gadashankar. Our district headquarter is Gadashankar, right, which is 16 kilometers away from the resort. Hoshiarpur is almost 40 kilometers away. So we are promoting it as Garib Banswal District Gadashankar.
Okay.
Okay, for the landmark, like some people who are not aware about Punjab, we tell them it's on way to Hoshiarpur.
Mhm.
So, pardon me my correcting you, but it is not Hoshiarpur, it is Gadashankar district, and the place is Gadi Manswal. Millie, I'm sorry, please, on to you.
No, not at all. See, Gari Maniswat, like Dinesh said, and it's a very, very new destination. And this is what we are trying to do is combine into itineraries by telling them that Anandpur Sahib is only about 45 minutes from the resort.
Exactly.
And yeah, and Anandpur Sahib is the place from where the Sikhism started. The first Gurudwara or the Sikh temple is in Anandpur Sahib. So it's a very interesting place to go and visit this Sikh temple, know about Sikhism, and also in the same place in Anandpur Sahib is the museum on Sikhism, where the history of all the 10 gurus is being depicted, and depicted in a very, very beautiful manner. They show the common life of Punjab and how the Sikhism, it starts from the Sikhism and it ends up with the freedom movement.
Freedom movement, yeah.
So it takes you around the whole, life circle from Sikhism till the freedom movement. Very beautifully built. The museum is built by the Punjab government, and the entry to the museum is free. And many people do not know about this museum, which is very, very sad. Another place what you can connect to Gaj Retreat is Golden Temple in Amritsar. It's about 2.5 to 3 hours drive. I would say rather 2.5 hours drive from Gaj Retreat to Amritsar. Right, Dinesh?
Yeah, you're right.
So the people, when they're traveling, especially the European travelers, they do not want to change the hotel every night. So Gaj Retreat is a place where you can easily stay for 3 to 4 nights, visit Anandpur Sahib, come back to the retreat. Next day, visit Amritsar. You can visit the Golden Temple, Jallianwala Bagh, Wagah border, and come back to the comforts of Gaj Retreat. And this retreat can also be a base for Dharamshala. People who are wanting to travel to Dharamshala, they can stay at Gaj Retreat for 2 nights, 3 nights, do all the excursions, and then move on to Dharamshala and carry on with their itinerary.
Can I add something, Millie, more?
Yes, of course.
Besides Anandpur Sahib being where the Sikhism started, we have a very famous festival known as Hola Mohalla.
Hola Mohalla. Yes.
Okay, now Hola Mohalla was basically used to be a local festival with people of Anandpur Sahib and surrounding areas. But now I must tell you, it's become an international fair. It happens for 3 days, and a whole lot of procession goes. It's an amazing thing to see. It's just a riot of colors. And it's basically dominated by a Sikh tribe, which used to be called Guru Ki Fauj. They were soldiers from Guru Gobind Singh's army. They call themselves Nihangs, right? And it is basically their show. They show you their martial skills, house riding. Sanjay and Rohit, you have to see it to believe it. We have been trying to promote this, keeping Gaj as a base, Hola Mohalla. And I must share with you that this year we had a very good response. We had almost 4 groups booked, but this pandemic started and everything went haywire. That's another very interesting festival which we are going to target from Gaj Retreat. And further, I must add something more for you people. Now, we are at a gateway of Himachal Pradesh.
Yes.
Because next to me, 12 kilometers away is the border of Himachal. Now, Himachal is famous for 4 Devis. Chamunda Devi, Naina Devi, Jwalaji, Chintapurni. Now, to promote Gaj Retreat, we have promoted certain itineraries. Like, for example, we call it your spiritual calling. Wow. All the activities who are coming, they want to visit all these Devis. But they're very skeptical about the hygiene and the travel and the comfort. So we are taking care of that. Then we're running another itinerary known as Back to Roots. Remember I talked to you, people who migrated to all these places in the early 60s and 70s, want to come back. Now, but they want to have a now different kind of a lifestyle. They want to go and visit their village. We take care of that because we know the topography, we know the area, so we organize those trips. Then with 500, this Guru Nanak's birthday celebration this year, I think it will continue. We had a suffering because of the pandemic. We have made an itinerary known as Guru's Legacy. It starts from Talbandi Sahib, where Guru Nanak Dev Ji spent his earlier youth. And then he traveled, ultimately went to Dera Baba Nanak, which is just adjacent to the Kartarpur border. So we are covering Talbandi Sahib, Dera Baba Nanak, and Amritsar. We call it Guru's legacy. People, Talwandi Sahib has got a lot of things directly related to Guru Nanak Dev Ji. We had a very good response. In fact, we attended WTM in this November, and there we only sold Himachal and Punjab. And believe me, I got fantastic inquiries for Guru's legacy. But what happens, everybody knows. And we are planning to go and visit ITB. And yes, it went for a
all set just 2 days before ITB, it all cancelled.
Yeah. And I must say with you, Sanjay and Roy, that we are doing self-drive jeep safaris to Ladakh by Lahore and Spiti. Lahore and Spiti since 1994.
Right.
It's a 21-day program where the clients get to drive their own jeeps, 2 clients to a jeep, and we go through Lahore and Spiti traveling parallel to China border, and we reach Leh after 21 days. We camp on the way, we carry the rations with us. My cooks go along with me, my waiters go along with me, my portable generators we take along. It's a full camp on the way. This we're doing since 94, and we used to have an agent in Germany known as Off-Road Tours. Unfortunately, we lost that gentleman in a skiing accident long time back, so that stopped. Then we're doing high altitude horseback safaris. I'm taking people to Jalori Pass and Kullu and Rohtang Pass on horseback. And I must share with you that we were doing this with British cavalry for 8 years in a row. So besides running the resorts, it's not only the resorts. I think that adventure and that spirit of taking risks is in the genes from our forefathers. We are doing all these adventure travels since 95, 96. That's one of the forte. Now in Gaj Retreat also, we're doing hot safaris in Punjab. Nobody else is doing it. So we give the option of people to come, do a hot safari. Anandpur Sahib, if you go through the horse track, is just 12 kilometers from the resort. So Gaj Retreat, we are trying to sell as an adventure center. Right? Somebody from Jodhpur has shown interest in doing paragliding there. So all these things are happening. So we're trying to make it as a gateway for so many things. As Millie said, yes, people traveling to Dharamshala and Manali, they're staying over. Then spiritual calling and Guru's legacy. I hope it rolls.
Sanjay, the moment someone says about the Ladakh and the Lahore Spiti, anyone who is the adventurous lover will get fascinated to go to that place.
Yes.
And I'm sure like any moment when you're coming to India, you must go to Ladakh.
Yes. Anytime. Welcome.
Wow.
Yes, Sanjay.
This is certainly interesting, and a lot of learning about adventurous activity, which is definitely exciting. And coming back to hotel, sounds like hotel rooms is pretty widespread out, and that's kind of very, very great for us considering the design of the hotel at this moment, right? And like you mentioned, it's already getting a lot of interest from the people, right? So tell us basically how about here, the nature lovers, basically, if they come and they see this part, that would be great for them, right? So tell us more about how they are enjoying it and more about rooms, what category hotel fits in as in general. Tell us more about the hotels. Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
Yesterday we got 54 rooms. We got category known as chateau rooms. It's basically rooms on an upper deck overlooking the jungle. As I told you, we got 350 acres of jungle, personal jungle. We are in the middle of it, right? Ground floor, we have got pool villas, plunge pool villas. Then we have luxury tents. Then we have individual standalone rooms, right? Then we have rooms in a row, 6 of them, where families want to stay together. The family, as I told you, there's luxury tents are spread around. Then we got another 8 rooms, which we're trying to build on those Italian style of rooms. So all the rooms have got a different feature. Okay. I won't know what category we are, Sanjay. Honestly, because getting the categorization done is hell of a lot of job. And unfortunately, we are not used to telling people, please, kar do. What is there is there.
Right.
My clients come, I don't claim I'm 7-star, I don't claim I'm 10-star. I say I'm a very, very comfortable and friendly place. Please come and experience yourself.
Experience yourself. Right.
Right. And I must share with you that being in an unknown place, new property, new area with nothing around us, in 4 years' time, we achieved the occupancy of almost 69%. And most of it depends upon weekend travelers from Punjab and surrounding areas. But yes, now it's become very popular with the corporates also. So this is how I was picking it up.
Great to hear. And another interesting point I want to talk about is when we talk about cuisine, right? I mean that, and sort of we touched upon our earlier discussion as well. Cuisine is something very interesting, and a lot of people want to, I'm sure they want to come there just for the cuisine. So tell us more about the cuisine experience.
Being in middle of Punjab, and clientele right now 90% being from Punjab. If I feed them well, I don't have the right to be in the business.
Right.
So, as I mentioned earlier, also in one of our earlier talks, we cook everything. Again, Northern Indian food is a specialty, and then we have additionally we have added Dogri food. The Dogri food is specialty from Jammu region. Then we have a Chambiali food. The Chambiali food is again a specialty from Dalhousie and Chamba. Right. Then we have picked up food again from Shimla, from my mother's side. That's we call it again Himachali food. So 3 main these cuisines plus Punjabi cuisine, and of course your South Indian, continental. Millie and Ralph have enjoyed some good cuisine. I think they will be better people to answer this question. Millie, please answer it.
Yeah.
Yes, the food in Kutch Retreat is awesome. You get the variety of the local cuisine, which is Punjabi cuisine. Then you get the roasted and the barbecued meats and your roasts. The Himachali food, sitting in that retreat in the middle of Punjab, enjoying that food is a luxury in itself. And the variety of continental food and the taste of the continental food. Actually, the variety is there, but it has to match the taste. Presentation, the food taste, everything is awesome. Amazing. I would say world-class level.
Wow.
Thank you. So you got a first-hand certificate.
Absolutely. And the great testimony right there.
After the hotel, sleeping in the bed, the second most important thing is food. If it cannot match the palate of the European palate, with the Punjabi food, the Indian food, with the continental cuisine, it doesn't make sense. So if it matches the palate and the client comes back and says, yes, I remember the food and can you get me the recipe of that dish what I had? That's the best compliment.
Right, exactly. Now, in addition to that, so it's a kids-friendly hotel, right? And tell us more about those activities which kids, families come there, and what is there for them?
Sanjay, as I mentioned, I got 3 main swimming pools. When we started, again, I'm coming back to the same topic again and again because I must share my apprehensions we had, and now we have traversed those apprehensions. We used to think, our place was done maybe in winters only because Punjab is quite decently hot and sizzling when it can be. We have seen over the last 2 years, my season ends at the end of August when the school holidays gets over. I get people who are just lolling in my swimming pools. They are not bothered about anything, right? The moment the children come to my place, first reflection is wow, because they see such a huge open vista. And I must share with you that we got 5 horses also.
Wow.
So you can see the horses and then the open vista, and then one opens the door and say, oh, there's a ground. So immediately says, give me bat ball. Other one says, oh, there's a swimming pool. So you believe me, when guys are checking in, the kids get lost. We have to tell them, your one kid is in the pool, other kid is having they're playing table tennis, and other one is on the ATV. So once the kids are taken care of, we are escorted. We can look after the parents once the kids are taken care of, right? So as I said, open spaces, then people go for walk to the village. Then they walk, they hike down to that riverbed. Okay, and as I told you, got a private jungle which is safe. So the kids just go crazy, collecting stones, maybe the bird's nest. And now Rohit asked me a question about the nature lover. I got 56 varieties of identified birds in my resort, near my resort.
Oh, wow.
It's an amazing place for bird watching. We have categorized, we catalog those birds, we have made a trail where you can sight them. Okay, I haven't had a lot many people doing that activity so far because we are planning to launch this winter and this trouble started. Besides that, another major activity which I'm promoting is stargazing. Imagine 360-degree view, just lying on the back of a bullock cart, just watching. It's not a professional bird watching, it's for amateurs.
Star watching.
Just experience the romance of stars and the wilderness. Like, if you permit me, I can show you how we are doing it. We're putting clients on the back of a bullock cart. And, with mattresses and all. It's pitch dark, of course. You can see the stars only in a pitch dark night. There's a bell tingling on the bull's neck. And in front of the cart, there's a guy, local folk musician, playing a music. He can't be seen. He is instructed that you can't be seen, but you must be heard. He's playing a flute or a tambura or a tumbi, whatever you call it. And this bullock cart is going through all the villages. Right. So you can imagine the stillness of the night, the sound of the cricket, night birds, owl, maybe a peacock, crying somewhere, and then you're just watching the stars, listening to that music, and the tingling of the bell. This is how we are promoting stargazing.
Wow. I
This is
mean,
for nature lovers.
I'm loving it. This is a big, I'm like imagining everything right there. And it's great. I mean, it's very innovative and kind of combine everything together, right? And like you say, stargazing is one thing, but when you combine with this experience, the whole experience is totally very memorable, when you go back to your place, right? I mean, for any traveler. Wow. Yeah. So another topic, which is talk of the time right now is wedding, right? Tell us about the how's Gadgetry handles as such wedding, and tell us more about it.
11 venues, starting from anything half an acre to 2.5 acres. A massive banquet room or a conference room, as you can call it, which can accommodate 400 people at any given time. Okay, 54 rooms, which can safely accommodate 160 people in one go, because the rooms are very, very spacious. Okay, and we are handling again weddings, and I must share with you privately that we had last December. We had a very special wedding of one of the VIPs of Punjab. He had all the choices to hold it anywhere, but they prefer to come to us. So we have been doing it, and for last 4 years, I think we have done around about 70 weddings so far. People are coming because, as I told you initially, we started this place thinking, if nothing else, let's sell it as a wedding venue.
Oh,
And then let's see how it works out. So weddings, no problems at all. I'm getting clients as far as Bangalore. Weddings and Gaj retreats.
Wow. Well, that's something interesting to hear. And now coming back to business travelers as such, how's business travelers? How about business travelers? Basically, because corporate world, they require some sort of group activities and conferences and dedicated few things, right? How Gadgetry is handling that?
Sanjay, I am myself a certified corporate trainer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like all these offsites, onsites, we handle them. Very interesting thing is, when we are doing, because basically when these guys come for offsite, they need to be engaged. So my riverbed is there. I take them for hikes, I take them for bicycle rides, okay? And we give them a special one meal in that riverbed. We take all the paraphernalia, we go to there, and I take them in a tractor trolley. And you can imagine going on that round stones and everybody is hooting and yelling.
Uh-huh.
They love that. So that one meal in the riverbed is mandatory for all the corporate travels, and they love it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And in winters, another thing which we give them is, this good making, jaggery making.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
It's a village. I got people who are doing this, so I can tell them, okay, start the furnace or bhatti today. So tell the clients, okay, let's go and show you how the good is made. So when they reach there, when the guy is pouring that hot and molten sugar juice,
Yeah.
sugarcane juice into the trough,
Mhm.
it consolidates. We tell them, okay,
Yeah.
cut,
Mhm.
wrapped in a velvet pouch, and given it to them.
Mhm.
These guys can't forget that experience. That, oh, this is the good I made myself. This is the good I made myself. Okay. Now these are the activities. As I told you, kite flying.
Mhm.
I have had people from HDFC Bank coming and playing gulli danda at my resort. That is one of the activities we have. So all said and done, we're having HDFC, Axis Bank, all the corporate banks, and then we have a industrial area nearby to our resort. I got a lot of clients from there, corporate clients. So more or less, yes. When I say 69% occupancy, we can say approximately 25 to 26% is my corporate travels. So if
Wow.
we equipped to, yeah.
Wow. And those activity certainly helps to bring better bonding among the teammates, and that's what the corporate really badly wants. I mean, that's what they're looking for, and
Exactly.
and involving in such activity like if I'm flying kite together with one of my few of my colleagues and or watching that good making strategy things, that's kind of pretty interesting, and it's that's a conversation very naturally. Now, while we are about to wrap up this conversation, one question comes in my mind that travelers are travelers have certain notion about traveling at this moment when we talk about pandemic. What would be your advice to them as such?
See, as I mentioned that Punjab government has allowed the travel.
Mhm.
During the lockdown also, you believe me, you may sound that I'm just trying to blow my own trumpet. I used to get at least 20 calls every day, sir, when are you starting the resort back again?
Oh wow!
When are you starting the resort back again?
Wow! Mhm.
And the moment it opened, right, this phenomenon has come. Now people, the word is spread around that the unit has come. And moreover, with due respect to our people from Punjab, they're quite daring people. I'm saying I have been getting inquiries. There's inquiry for a wedding in next month,
Mhm.
which is going to be which was planned for 150 people. With the government restrictions, we can't have more than 50.
Mhm.
So in Punjab, yes, people are very open about it. They're willing to travel. The only restriction till yesterday was that on weekends they have to take e-pass. I think with new lockdown, unlockdown instructions coming up, I think they're allowing the travel all 7 days. So I'm expecting at least Gaj Retreat, Touchwood, with God's grace, will start rolling, because this unit, if it stays back with me till another 15 days, after that, it's a beautiful place to enjoy in the rains. I get peacocks dancing right at my courtyard.
Wow! Wow!
So, and all the birds which I'm saying. And see, it's a massive, beautiful place, and people are taking chances, and I think it will start rolling. About Punjab, I'm very sure about it.
Amazing.
Delhi, of course, people want to get out, but with all the unfortunate things happening, people are scared to travel. But Punjab, yes, I'm confident it will start rolling.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yes, Millie, you're saying something?
Very quickly, just before we wrap up, I would like Dinesh to tell about the eco-friendly aspect of Gaj Retreat, which is very, very important, and which is a main highlight of the property.
Yeah, thank you, Billy, for reminding me. I wanted to touch this place, but you know how passionate I get, when I'm discussing the travel industry and such. If you people have seen the photographs, Sanjay and Roy, the roofs are made of thatch. Now, when we were making this resort, all this thatch was brought all the way from Corbett. And we realized, we need to change it after maybe every 4 years, and it's going to be a very expensive affair. So what we're trying to do is now we have we have given land. It's basically wild reed actually, which we are using now, which is growing wild in the riverbed and the jungles which we have. So we have told the families to collect this.
Mm-hmm.
So they're collecting it, they're sorting it out, they're cutting it into pieces. And now on a regular basis, where there's a patch going, they're doing the job themselves. That is one. When we're talking about the corporates, we are telling those people to come and plant a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I got almost 30,000 of saplings lying with me. I tell them, please, there's a dedicated area, you plant a tree, we'll look after it. Okay. We are doing the rain harvesting, water rain harvesting. Okay. As I told you, we got our own kitchen garden.
Mm-hmm.
There's a proper disposal area for the garbage. Okay. We have put incinerators. We have a gobar gas plant where we are using all and the wet waste and using this. And I'm running my kitchen at least 30% of on gobar gas plants.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to put up the solar plant, but it didn't work out. It's very expensive because the property is quite spread out. We had a team come in from Netherlands. They wanted to set up a solar village. And I told them, yes, I can give you around about 10 acres of land, which they wanted. But they never turned up. But we are trying. And now our next motive is we are trying to recycle the water. I must share with you all the pools which are filled up, no drop of water is wasted. It goes back to the ground. Mm-hmm. One pool is always full as a firefighting backup. Other water is thrown back into the ground and pumped up again. Okay. So with the land available with us, we are thinking of doing some hydroponic agriculture farming also for our vegetables, exotic vegetables. Right. Another plan is, as I told you, we are going to recycle the water. Mm-hmm. We have reached a stage where we are recycling the sewage water for the lawns. It's really, I must share with you, one of my nieces, she works with Tata Research Institute, and her specialty is only water conservation. Mm-hmm. So she is helping us on a small pilot project basis. We have achieved success in recycling the sewage water for the garden and the lawns. And if we keep on working on this, I'm very sure in maybe 1 year's time, we'll be able to recycle the water for our drinking purpose also. This is what we're doing on the ecotourism.
Wow, it's a really like Millie mentioned. I mean, it's definitely highlight of the property, and thanks for sharing it in detail. So we are wrapping up our conversation. Thank you very much, Mr. Dinesh. Thank you, Millie, for joining.